How we doing, guys? Today we are off and running because first off we have to go to Best Buy so I can go pick up Joker. And I can already see there's a line of people there already getting in there. If you can see, I can't zoom in on this mode, but you'll see. It just opened up, so it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, we're gonna head over to Best Buy first so I can pick up my steelbook, and then quick trips to Barnes & Noble, Cash and Culture, and then I'm heading off to the movie theater so I can go see 1917 and Like a Boss a little bit later on today. So, let's get this day going already. I'm a little bit concerned because I don't have the papers from the order that I used to get this. And I can't remember my password right now for my account, so hopefully as long as I tell them my name and everything, I should be able to still get it. But we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Alrighty, mission accomplished. Here's the regular Blu-ray version, the DVD version. I actually might pick up the DVD version. I like the cover on this one. I'll hold on to it just in case. Other than that, I don't think anything else big came out this week. Still got a Rambo Last Blood Steelbook there. Seems like the regular Joker display here. Anything over on this side? Harry Potter. Man, is it unseasonably warm out here. It's 64 right now. It's supposed to get to 70 by the end of today. This is not January weather. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, besides that, I did go to Best Buy. I did come out of Best Buy. I didn't end up getting that the Joker DVD. There was another thing I wanted to get in there too, the replacements on Blu-ray. I don't know. I just really had to think to myself, do I need these two right now? And I decided, no, I didn't really need them right now. So I'm holding off for them right now. I might go back later today if I really want to get them. But right now, let me show you the one thing that I did pick up in there, and that's the one thing I did come in for. And that is the Joker Steelbook. There was two of them in there, so this was not the only one that they had over there. There was another copy that someone had back there on the online pickup thing, but there it is right there. And I might have to open this up as soon as I'm done with this because, as you can hear, something's leaking out of there, and I can't do anything about it. I can't get a new one because the other one's being held for somebody. But yeah, anyway. I got it. I got the steelbook. I'm one of the few people that actually was able to find the steelbook. But there it is, right there. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It was in my honorable mentions as one of my favorite movies of the year. It was an interesting take on the character. I like some of the twists and turns that they did with it. The story, the violence was not as bad as everyone thought it was going to be. There are some over-the-top moments in there, but not a whole lot. But it's a good movie, man. It's a really good movie. And yeah, Joaquin Phoenix really nailed this one out of the park. I think he's really good in this movie. He's definitely a contender for Best Actor this year when the nominations get announced on Monday. And yeah, really good movie. Alright, so let me make sure I open this up just to make sure that none of the discs are scratched or anything. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to head over to Barnes & Noble. Looks like everything's pretty good. What happened was the Blu-ray disc was out a little bit, but not too much. Like, it didn't come out of the case of its little hole right there. So everything looks like it was in shape. I have the digital code right here, which I'm not going to show you the code number on there, but yeah, it looks like everything's okay in this. So crisis averted. Alright, so far today I've spent a measly 15 cents because this actually turned out to be almost free after my $20 gift card to Hot Topic. I bought a Cuphead plush. He was originally... where's the thing at? There it is. He was originally $26.90, but they had a thing where you took an extra 30% off. Came down to $20.15. I had a $20 gift card, so this little guy cost me only 15 cents. So I'm winning pretty good today, for the most part. All the Christmas decorations are gone now. Train's still here, but the Christmas stuff is gone. Alright, Alright, after a little detour there, let's head into Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble. Still got the Christmas stuff out here. Stuff inside's gone, though. How much you want to bet this is going to become valuable very soon? Looks like somebody actually finally bought that Basic Instinct 2 Blu-ray. This is where it was at, I think. But I think I'm going to pick this up here. It'll be the same price after the 30% off plus my 10% discount. Be the same price I got it at Best Buy, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pick this up here. I keep thinking back to when Jacksepticeye did the Guess the WikiHow video when they showed the picture of the guy who's looking like this. One of the clues on the bottom is how to know if you have an erection. This guy looks like he looks like that guy. It's just like, I have an erection. Everybody, look at me. Alright, one last stop before I head to the movies, and that is Cash and Culture. Alright, I did a little research last week, and it does turn out that this actually is on DVD, but it's a Disney Movie Club one, and it's pretty expensive too, so that's nice though. I mean, despite the cracks up there, I don't know, maybe this could be worth something. Maybe. Yeah, that was tempting to get that. I didn't get it, but they also had Mary Poppins in there too, like the original 90s release with the papers that's still inside it too. That was also $1, so I'm not going to get both of those now, but maybe down the line I might go back and get those maybe next week. If they're still there. There's what Like a Boss will be later on. Into 1917 we go.
How do you feel about an adventure? Glad you're enjoying this. This is from survival, perseverance. It's powerful. The relationship that they share is beautiful. It's unpleasant to see. They play an important
Some shit looks really good.
on it, and they become companions in this journey.
$72 degrees right now in January. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, right, Jax? Jax, over here. Well, I'm back home now, and I'm very happy with one of the movies I saw, the other and not so much. I really love 1917. I mean, everything I've heard about that movie, everything that everyone's been saying about that movie is 100% true. It's a really great movie. I had a really good time with this film. You really do get invested with this movie and these characters that you follow through most of the movie. One of the characters in this movie does die off a little bit early in the film. I'm not going to say who it is, but when you follow the character that does survive, though, you really do get invested in this story and what these characters and what they're going through. The cast I thought was very well done. There's bunch of people you're probably not going to recognize right away. And then there were some people in there that were bigger names in here that I didn't even know who were in this movie. I had no idea that Mark Strong was in this movie until I saw his name in the credits. But like guys like Colin Firth and Benedict Cumberbatch, you can kind of tell who they were in the movie. And the best aspect of this movie is a couple of things. One is the tension, and that's mostly because of the way the cinematography goes, which is the best thing about this movie. I'm really disappointed that this was not on on the Cinemark XD theaters. When I went to see this movie, it was just on a regular theater screen, because I think this would have looked incredible on that gigantic XD screen. Roger Deakins, man, I don't think he's ever won an Academy Award for cinematography, but this has got to be his year for it, because the cinematography in this movie is incredible. Like, it's really hard to tell where the cuts are. Like, where this is supposed to look like it's one long continuous shot for a good majority of the movie. There are parts here and there where you can kind of tell where the cuts come in, like somebody gets blown away by an explosion or that type of stuff, and you can definitely tell those parts, but for the most part, it looks like an authentic, long, continuous shot. It's very much like Birdman from a couple years ago, like what Alejandro González Iñárritu did, and I thought it worked a lot for the most part, and because of that, the tension and the suspense in this movie is well done. There's a lot of really good emotional moments in this film, like when you finally get to the end, you finally get to the big resolution of everything, and it ends the way it does. It's kind of hard not to start choking up a little bit, especially with the events that happen. I like how the movie starts off with somebody sitting on a tree, and then it ends with somebody sitting on a tree. I'm not gonna say who it is, but like I like the way this movie bookends itself in that way. And I mean, there's not really much more to say about this movie except that it's a great movie. I think it has a good chance to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and I think it should. I don't think there's any other movie that I've seen so far this year that comes close to that. Maybe, I want to say Uncut Gems, maybe that could be an upset, but this movie I think is the frontrunner for the Best Picture Oscar. I think that's going to win several Academy Awards, and it's definitely worth seeing. It's a really good, really entertaining movie. It's definitely, I would have to maneuver around to put it in my top 10 list from last year, but it is a very good movie. It's one I definitely recommend you checking out. And then I saw Like a Boss, and a little backstory here. Knives Out is still playing at this theater that I always go to, and I could have easily gone to see that, because I would have seen probably a better movie, because I'm hearing a lot of great things about that one. I've not heard really one bad thing about that movie, but I held off because I think it's going to be there for at least another couple of weeks. Hopefully, if it gets some more Oscar buzz, they'll keep it in theaters there, and I'll have a chance to see it in a couple of weeks, but I saw Like a Boss, and I immediately regret that decision, because last week I saw what was the worst movie of 2019, and this year I think I have seen the earliest contender for the worst movie of 2020. God, this movie was a mess. Oh my god, this movie was such a disaster. Like, this movie is so unbearable to watch. Like, I love the actors in this movie. Tiffany Haddish, Rose Byrne, Salma Hayek. I think they're all great actresses, but this movie is just bad. Like, this is exactly what you think of when you think of bad January movies. And this is directed by a really good director, Miguel Artera. He did Youth in Revolt, and he's done some good stuff. Like, but this just looks awful. It looked awful from the trailers, and I didn't really see it until they started slamming it in front of my face, showing it at every movie I went to between November and January. They did that again, which of course that worked with Breakthrough and A Dog's Way Home, and that didn't pay off in the end. And yeah, this movie was just bad. Like, the jokes aren't funny. The bits of comedy they're trying to go for here aren't funny. And it's just not a good movie. Like, their attempts to try to make Salma Hayek look sexy, it's not like sexy, like the sexy Salma Hayek you saw at the Golden Globe Awards. This is that type of sexy where the what's the phrase I want to use here for? Give me one sec. Suburban White Moms. I'll go with that one because I was looking for the last couple of minutes trying to figure out what I want to say here. But this is the type of sexy that Suburban White Moms would look at and go, "Oh, she's rather sexy. Oh, she's sexy." That not that kind of sexy like what most people think of sexy, but you get the point. Like they try to make her too puffy, like that hair. Like they give her this obviously bad looking red wig to try to make her hair look more sexy, but it just doesn't work. And the fact that this movie has the nerve to do something like that to Salma Hayek, that's the first sin against this movie. And it's just not funny. Like, it's attempts at lame jokes in this movie. The jokes are very lame in this movie. That's what I want to say. But the jokes in this movie are so terrible. Like, one clip that I saw during Chris Stuckman's review for this movie stood out to me yesterday when I saw the review for it, and I'm going to show you that right now. So, watch this.
Oh my God! It's chocolate sprinkles your pubes. This is so beautiful.
You talking about this frosted replica of your vagina?
What the heck was that? You see what I mean? Like, they think that's funny for some reason. I don't get it. Like, I don't get why people think that's funny or not. Like, why do people think that's funny? I never understood that. Whenever I see these movies and that's the kind of stuff that happens, it's just like that right there should have been warning sign number one that this movie was going to be terrible. But I gave in. I tried to give it a chance. There is a good message around this movie that's trying to come across here, but it's left out of the distance when you have these really terrible attempts at comedy. Like that stuff makes no sense. There are like the stuff in the trailer where Tiffany Haddish is like holding on to the whatever you call it, the flag things, and like their attempt at comedy is just keep saying stuff, Tiffany Haddish, and that's funny. That's not funny. Like, none of the stuff that she does in this movie is funny, and it doesn't lead anywhere. That's the problem with this movie, is that none of the jokes lead anywhere. It reminds me of The Boss, a movie that I didn't hate, like a lot of people did with Melissa McCarthy, but it's not a movie I'd ever watch again, and I don't think it's a terrible movie. I would rather watch that movie than watch this one again. That should tell you something right there about this movie and how bad it is. It's just, I think you got the point here. Like a Boss, it's just not a good movie. It's a waste of very good talent on here. And it's pretty much everything you could expect and then some from a January movie. It's that bad of a movie. Like, it just doesn't feel like they were trying. It's like they knew nobody was going to be watching this movie because they're going to be talking during the movie. They're going to be sipping on their like champagne and all that kind of stuff. It's like the Sex and the City movies. Like, nobody remembers how good the Sex and the City movies was because all they were doing was talking to the whole thing and not even showing what was on screen. At least that's how it was when I remember watching those movies. But yeah, Like a Boss was not a good movie. I would go as far as to say that it may very well be an early candidate for the worst movie of 2020 so far. And I don't know. We're at that point right now where if I see anything worse than this year, we're in for a really rocky year, so. And I completely missed out on Knives Out to see this movie. That's the thing that hurts me the most about this movie. I had a chance to see a movie that was going to be really good with Knives Out. Excuse me. And instead, I chose Like a Boss. That was my mistake. So, yeah. Yeah, Like a Boss was not good, but I did see 1917, so the day was not a complete loss. So, see 1917, please, for the love of God, avoid Like a Boss like the plague.
Terrible.
Oh my God! It's chocolate sprinkles your pubes. This is so beautiful.
You talking about this frosted replica of your vagina?
Why is that a joke? Why is that funny?